Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So sorry I've been missing. I feel like I've started every single one of my videos, like probably the last 4 videos with sorry I've been missing, because I'll create a couple of videos and then I'll fall off the face of the earth. So this is my promise to you guys that I really am putting forth effort. I've actually dedicated 2 days a week to content creating specifically for YouTube. So 2022, it's the year, this is happening. My YouTube channel will officially be a priority. Not that it wasn't a priority, it's just honestly, with everything going on in life, you know, my son is now 16 months. He's super busy, walking everywhere. We're currently under contract on a house, which I am really excited. I've decided to just go ahead and share it because we should be closing in the next month or so. So I'm really excited for that. Brad is gearing up for deployment for OPSEC purposes. I cannot share when he's leaving, but I've honestly been dreading it. So I'm gonna have a little more time in the evenings to film. So you're gonna be getting a lot of videos with my ring light being used because honestly, during the day, it is so busy between nutrition coaching and meeting with clients and then creating content for Instagram and TikTok and then running around with my child. It's just very busy. And not to mention striving for my physical goals that I've set for myself this year. So it seems like every stitch and every second of my day is utilized and dedicated to something. So the evenings are gonna be for YouTube. So here we are. I'm really excited for all the things I'm gonna bring to life for you guys within 2022. I've really kind of niched down and decided what my content's gonna be focused on. It's gonna be really focused on nutrition and fitness. I don't wanna get lost in the sea of fitness influencers. I am a certified nutritionist. I went to college for clinical nutrition and food science. So I do want my content to be set apart. So that's what we're really gonna be focusing on. I still plan on doing vlogs and stuff. However, I'm gonna kind of do vlogs with a purpose. They're each gonna have like a topic included. So this is kind of the first one of those. So today we're gonna be talking about goal setting and how to properly set your goals with realistic expectations and to set yourself up for success, because I feel like the reason people fail every single time is because they don't have a proper plan or they set really lofty goals. Not saying that they're unrealistic, but there's really big goals and then they don't ever game plan it properly. So that's what we're gonna really kind of dive into here. So today I'm just gonna be giving you guys some tips, things that I utilize every single year when it comes to setting goals for myself and how to set yourself up for success, because that's the goal here, right? We wanna achieve what we've set out to do and not waste our time. So to make things a little more interesting, I'm pretty hungry. And it's hard for me to focus when I'm hungry. So I figured we'd bake some cookies while we talk through these goals. I know that sounds kind of crazy because a lot of you are probably here for your fitness goal, whether it's weight loss or muscle building or whatever. You're here to learn how to set your goals and set yourself up to achieve the physique that you're striving for in 2022. So these are protein cookies. It's 4 ingredients. They're gonna be all encompassing of every dietary restriction. So I figured it'd be really fun to just do something different as opposed to me just sitting here talking. I feel like that's really boring. So I'm gonna drag you guys into my kitchen. We're gonna make some cookies and kind of dive into the good stuff. So let's go. This is honestly like the worst design flaw in history of house building. This right here sets me on fire. I cannot. Okay, so we got all the ingredients out. I'm kind of just making this up on the fly, kind of based off of other recipes that I have on my blog. So hopefully it turns out good. I'm not gonna be talking through the recipe because we're gonna be going over goal setting skills and things like that. But I am posting the recipe in the description box. So have no fear, you can get all of the details for these cookies below. Like I said, this is experimental, so hopefully it turns out okay. So let's make some cookies. So for me personally, I am a list maker. I love making lists. It helps me see all the things that I need to accomplish. It also helps me remember all the tasks that I need to accomplish because mom brain, I'll forget if I don't write things down. So for me, it makes sense to write out a plan or a list of things that I need to accomplish in order for a certain outcome. And so your goals need to be kind of thought of as the same way, almost like a task list. So the first tip I have is to set up SMART goals. And SMART is an acronym. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relative, and timely. And we're just gonna quickly go through each one of those. When it comes to our goals, you need to be specific. You need to narrow down exactly what you want in order to make an effective plan. If you have really generic goals, you're more likely to lose sight of the big picture. So be as specific as possible. So it's fine to have an umbrella goal, meaning a more broad goal, like I want to be healthy. Once you have that umbrella goal, set those specifications. Instead of being super broad or generic, like I want to be healthy, be more specific, tailor it down I want to eat more vegetables, I want to walk 10K steps a day, I want to exercise for 30 minutes a day. Write those down underneath your broad goal. So that's in terms of being more specific. Narrow down that I want to be healthy goal into specific things. So once you have your specific goal written down, it's time to go to the next letter, which is measurable. You want to find a way to measure progress, no matter what your goal is. You need to define what evidence you're going to be collecting in order to prove that you're making strides towards your overall goal. So if your goal, let's say, is to lose a certain amount of weight, a lot of us will determine our progress based on the scale, and I just really want to emphasize this, and I emphasize this all the time with clients. I never have a client set a weight goal because that's not important. What the scale reflects is not a good reflection of the work that you've put forth or a good way to measure your overall progress. The scale is just a number, and there's so many factors that go into that number that a lot of times, if it doesn't reflect a significant change, it frustrates us, it discourages us, and then we sometimes give up. I know for me, that's a lot of the reason I would give up, is I wouldn't see much change in the scale. So if your goal is to change your physique in any way, whether it's to put on muscle, to lose weight, to just change it, I would say take progress pictures and use body circumference measurements. Your body composition is way more important than what that scale says. Your body composition is your fat versus your muscle mass, and so that can change and the number on the scale can stay the same. For example, I weigh about 10 pounds heavier than I did in college. However, I look leaner, my physique is way more toned, I have a lot more muscle than I ever did. Back then, I was like starving myself and doing hours of cardio, and I weighed like 110 pounds. And honestly, looking back at those pictures, I was just kind of like skinny fat. It just wasn't a good look. So even though I weigh more than I did in college, I'm healthier mentally and physically, I have more muscle, I'm actually smaller in circumference, my clothes fit better. So please know that your body composition is way more important than what the scale says. Okay, off my soapbox. Basically, you need to set up a system to where you can measure your progress throughout this time of striving towards your goals. This will also help you see that maybe there might be some changes that need to be made to your strategy if you're not seeing any form of progress in several weeks. I usually tell clients it takes 4 to 6 weeks for you to see changes, 8 weeks for family and friends to see changes, and 12 weeks for the world to see a really significant transformation. So be patient. I would say don't change anything until about week 4 or 6. If you haven't seen progress by the time week 6 rolls around, it's time to reevaluate and see what might be the problem and go from there. The next letter we're moving into is the A, which is attainable, and this one is a little bit tricky. The reason this is tricky is attainable basically means, is the goal that you set for yourself doable? And by no means am I saying that your goals are too lofty that you can't reach them, because truly, if you really dedicate the time and set your mind, you can accomplish anything that your heart desires, as long as it's something good. Please know I don't want you to lessen your dreams. However, you need to be reasonable with the time frame you set for yourself. Just like I was saying, don't change anything for the first 4 or 6 weeks, because you need to give your body time to adjust. This is applicable to any goal. You need to allow yourself ample time to get to where you want to be. Like, for example, it's completely unreasonable to say that you want to lose 10 pounds in a month. If you accomplish that goal, you didn't do it in a healthy way, and I can almost guarantee you it wasn't 10 pounds of fat that you lost. Saying that you're going to lose 10 pounds in a month, or I'm going to run a marathon in 2 weeks and I've never run a day before in my life, you might as well add ending world hunger to the list, because that's about as possible as those two things are. Instead of setting some sort of fitness goal in a month, maybe give yourself 6 months, 9 months, a year to accomplish that task. I remember one year my goal was to run a half marathon. I didn't train for this in just a couple of months. I dedicated 9 whole months to training before I actually ran a race. I signed up for the race in like February, but I gave myself until October to actually run the race, because I knew my body needed time to adjust to a different form of training that I had never done before. I needed to give myself time to adapt mentally. You really need to be reasonable with how attainable your goals are and the time frame that you set for yourself is, if that makes sense. And I feel like a lot of times we have these goals and we want to have results immediately, but please keep in mind that anything worth having takes time and effort. So the results that you want to see, or the changes that you want to make, it's going to take time, conscious effort, and establishing healthy habits to get you there. And then once you're there, it's all about maintaining that progress. So moving on to our next letter, it's R, relevant. So this basically means your goals need to be relevant to the cause. Back to the example of like an umbrella goal, that larger, more lofty goal, like I want to be healthier in 2022, you need to make sure that your stepping stone goals, the things that are like little checkpoints for you along the way actually align with the umbrella goal of I want to be healthier. So for example, kind of like I stated before, okay, you want to be healthier. Let's start with one goal. In 30 days, you want to give up soda. So you give yourself a month to give up soda because it's your downfall. You drink way too much of it. It's really messing up with your calorie intake. And so that's the first step is, okay, to be healthier, step one, stepping stone goal one, I want to cut out soda. Stepping stone goal 2, I want to start walking 10K steps a day. Stepping stone goal 3, I want to start exercising in the gym and get comfortable in the gym. So things like that. All of these are leading up to being healthier. I want to drink more water. Create a list of little accomplishments that you want to make along the way in order to achieve that larger umbrella goal. And finally, our last letter is timely. We touched on this a tad when we talked through the attainable point. So kind of jumping back and forth between attainable and timely, you need to give yourself plenty of time to accomplish the goal, but you also need to set up a time frame so that way you stay focused and on track. So if you never give yourself a by this date or kind of almost like an expiration date for your goal reaching, then you might kind of dilly-dally and not get to where you want to be. Again, with my half marathon, I knew that my goal was to run a half marathon. So in February, I signed up for a half marathon in October. So I knew I had all the way until October 19th to train for that half marathon. So no matter what you do, make sure you do give yourself a deadline so that way you have something to look towards. Next, we're going to talk about motivating factors. I've equipped you with the tools that you need to set your goals and do it in an organized manner that's going to really set you up for success. This is actually a topic that I cover every time I meet with a new client. Anytime things get tough, remember your why. I'm a big nerd. I love a notebook, and so I love getting notebooks every year. I typically get 2 types of planners whenever the new year starts. I get a daily planner, so this is the Day Designer. Love it. I linked it below for you. And then this year, I decided to get this Fit Planner by Flax. Never heard of it, but what I love is at the beginning, you can write down your goals for the whole year, your short term, your long term, and your biggest dreams. And then that way you can have something to look back on and remember your why. So it is so important to, whether you get a notebook and you like to bullet journal or you get one of these that kind of is already laid out for you, you need to get something to write down your why, because you're going to refer back to this a lot. Whenever things get tough and you're not motivated or you're having a day and you're really struggling, open up your book and remember why you started. It's really important to continue to find new sources of motivation along the way. So for example, start a little fund. Put a couple dollars in a jar every time you reach a stepping stone goal, and then with that money, buy a new bikini or take yourself on a trip or go, have a spa day. Do something that's going to help keep you motivated and your goals in sight. It doesn't necessarily have to be clothes oriented or anything like that, but it could be pretty much anything that excites you. Make that something that you work towards. The next way to kind of stay on track towards your goals is to have some form of accountability. This is really important for being successful when it comes to reaching your goals. The reason I failed so many times is I never had someone to check in with. I never had anybody kind of keeping me accountable and going, in the trenches with me. So you need to find a friend, a family member, somebody that will encourage you but also keep you accountable. So find someone that will be honest with you but come at you in love but convict you in a kind way. If you don't have any friends or family that you trust or that you feel comfortable sharing your goals with, and I'm always open to be your accountability partner. I do offer online nutrition coaching, so you can get my email in the description box below and shoot me an email and we can talk about accountability. The only way I stayed consistent in the beginning is because of my best friend Annabeth. In college, we were workout partners. I knew that she was always going to be there and she knew that I was always going to be there, and we always showed up for each other at the gym, and that's how we became better, is having that accountability. So when you have that accountability, it really continues to motivate you on days that you're just not feeling it. If you need help, I'll be your girl. Okay, so we've talked about how to set your goals through the acronym SMART. We've kind of touched on motivating factors, how to stay motivated, accountability, all of those kinds of things. So now let's talk about having a plan. You have to have a plan in order to reach your goal. If you don't have one, you're gonna fail. I know that's harsh, but it's just the truth, and I'm here to be real with you. So many times I would set a goal for myself, have no plan, and just go for it. I loved my optimism, but at the end of the day, I failed every single time. Look at it. Think about it this way. You wouldn't expect an architect to build you a home on hope and a dream. You want to see blueprints, you want to see the plans, you want to know how they're going to go from a flat ground to a house. So why would going and reaching your goals be any different? You've got to have a plan. Like I said, this is experimental. How do these turn out? Like, I'm kind of getting concerned. Some tools that you can utilize to plan your goals out will be obviously getting a planner, planning out your day, setting aside time and dedicating specific time throughout your day to exercising. You need some sort of notebook to write down your workouts, because if you go to the gym without a plan, then you're gonna just waste your time being there. If you need help with a plan, I've got a fabulous 12-week workout program that you can use. It's for any and all fitness levels, and it's 12 weeks, 84 days, and it gives you exactly what to do. And you also need to plan out your nutrition. That's why meal prepping is so harped on in the fitness community. You'll either not eat, which I'm guilty of doing that. If I don't have my food prepped, I'll just not eat because I'll forget or get busy, or you'll end up overeating if your goal is weight loss. So you need to establish a workout plan, whether you find one online or you write one out yourself. You need to plan out your meals, and you need to plan time to exercise, to actually execute the things, the steps that you need to take in order to get to your goals. So now that you got your plan established and we've covered a lot of topics, let's talk about flexibility. You need to be flexible. You need to not allow little setbacks and hiccups and road bumps throw you off. We're gonna do a test bake. We're test baking a cookie. You need to be okay when little setbacks and road bumps occur. What sets apart the people who actually achieve their goals from the people that fail are the people that can get back up when a setback or a road bump comes in. So we're doing 2 test cookies. I have a feeling I'm gonna need to add some sort of flour because these are looking just suspicious. So let's pop them in for about 10 minutes and see what happens. Okay, so these are our 2 test cookies. Let's see how they hold up. I'll say that's a win. So let's add them to a plate and try them. That looks so good. That's good. I'm here for it. So, that pretty much covers all the topics that I wanted to chat through in this video. I hope you found this helpful. I would love to hear what other topics you guys want me to cover in the videos on my channel this year. I really am focusing and niching down to more nutrition and fitness related subjects. The next video I'm going to work on is ways to increase your calorie burn in the gym. I'm really excited about this one. So I'm just going to give you 3 really easy tips that you can apply to working out to burn more calories. But comment anything that you want to see in the future, and I will try to make a video about it. As always, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel so you never miss an upload. If you're new to the Measure Me Whole family, be sure to leave a comment below so I can say hi. I love getting to know you guys and just learning more about you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'm going to have some alone time with this cookie, and see you guys next time. Bye.